And welcome to the 1% Club coming to you live from 10X Miami. That's right. I am down here in Florida. I'm in Hollywood, Florida, and I've been hearing speakers all day today. Super encouraged, super filled up. I'm going to share with you highlights for what I'm learning here today. Now, my seats, you could sit in the very back, and there's about 5,000 people here for $2,000 a seat. I chose, like in church, I sit up front. Whenever I sit up front, I get distracted in the back, seeing people get up, use the restroom, come back, go get a bottle of water, come back. So I like to be a front rower. So the more you pay, the more you get to the front. So Kathy's and I seats were $40,000 for two seats. And there were hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of seats in the $40,000 for two seat category. And the people you meet, they own manufacturing, they own 1,200 doors, they own mortgage companies, property management companies, they own furniture stores. You spend that kind of dough on a seat, you are serious about one thing: change. You were serious about one thing: having a breakthrough. I don't spend that money, say, oh yeah, I spent $20,000 on my seat and 20 on my wife's. We are growing together. I'm going to share some highlights, but before I do, I want to share this. I used to go without my wife for a long time, many years. She takes care of the kids, I conquer the business world, and then we meet at night. And we did that for a long time, and I can tell you it worked. But we are doing so much better together. And I think about 5 years ago, we made a conscious effort at EXP to do life together. She's getting medical treatments today. She's watching online virtually, but we go everywhere together, and it's so fun to debrief what you learn. She's already texting me her notes today, like, oh, here's what I got from this speaker. And she's in an oxygen tank, breathing pure oxygen, and she's on her laptop watching virtually. She's like, that's what I got. What'd you get? And so do life with your spouse. That's the first little tidbit I'll give you. But next, there's this guy they had on there. If you're watching live, Tucker Carlson, and basically it's his own network now, the TCN Tucker Carlson Network. He lives up in northern Maine, and basically he talked about some things. I'm just going to share some highlight notes, and I'll drill down on more. But he said, manage your ideas into reality. So it means I want a podcast, start. I want a YouTube channel, start. I'm going to write a book called X. First, start with write the chapters. How many chapters will we have? 7 chapters. How about this? What do you know about that subject? And write down maybe what you think 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12 chapter headings could be. And then just start down some notes. And it's so easy to write a book if you do that. The journey of 1,000 miles begins with the first step: start. Start. And then he said, so manage your ideas into reality. He talked about people who own 10 businesses, not just one. The diversification. Tony Robbins owns, I think, 40. Maybe you could have a second business. You don't want businesses that consume your time. You want to invest in different business, whether it's a dry cleaning. I know a buddy of mine invested in a dry cleaning business, and he makes like 10,000 a month from a little dry. It's nothing to do with real estate and what he does, but he makes 10,000 a month from that little dry cleaner investment. So what could you invest in? So I thought that was pretty cool. I got to admit, I've tended, I buy stock, I buy real estate. And I invest. I've done some VC venture capital work. Pretty excited about Real Bricks coming online here. But here's the deal: I mainly give 100% of my time to EXP, which to me is loving people. What do I give 100% of my time to? Loving people. I meet people like, well, I just work on my front line. I just work on my front line because I got to get over the 7 levels. I'm at 26, I got to get to 30. And I understand you got to get 30, unlock that 7th level, especially if you have 300 people there or 3,000 people there. But here's the deal: I do what I do because I love people. I got promises to keep. I got to help Dave Ken Dune, and I got to help Andre LaFountain. I got to help Drew Johnson. I got to help Coach Randy Bird and Clark Brum and Jenny Utz, people I've just getting to know and people I've known for a long time. Minnesota Joe, baby, I got to help Zizis Gregory. What's up, Zizis? How you doing, man? Good to see you. Looking good. You got your goals behind you there. You're in the green room. I like it. Literally, the green room. That's funny, man. I love it. But here's the deal. Noel's here. Noel Kreider. Oh my gosh, for this. Now I'm super happy. Anyways, so here's the deal. It's not just about me and mine and my AK-47, and don't you try to come take what I have. It's about love, man. And so it was so fun. He goes, become a super manager. Know the targets, and it's your ability to focus. That was one thing they talked about really succeeding at business, your ability to not just be a manager, but to be a super manager and then to delegate. And they write this down, know what you're good at. Like, I have never bounced a checkbook. Now I have Yale graduates that work for me from Yale that I employ and pay a lot of money to balance my checkbook. I have accountant, my bookkeeper's 5,000 a month. My bookkeeper might be 6,000 a month just for the bookkeeper. CPAs, thousands and thousands. And so when I made a little, I went to H&R Block. And the more successful you are, but what is your strength? Are you bouncing? Do you do paperwork? Are you your own TC? Really? And you're like, oh, I gotta save a buck, man. And you're missing that buyer, missing that seller. Congratulations. You saved 300 bucks on the TC. You lost 13,000 on that listing or that buyer. It's not smart. And so he said, know what you're good at. He said, go for the target. He said, like, what is the target? You want to succeed? Do you think Steve Jobs knew the target? Do you think Richard Branson, he built Virgin Airlines and Virgin Records and everything he did, it was successful, and now he's at, Galactic Air and different things, but do they know the target? Do I know the target for my life? How about you? Do you know the target for your life, for your family? What's the target for your family? Your faith, your finances. Finances includes business. Your faith, your family, your finances, your fitness. What is the target? And he talked about really, I don't know if it was Grant Cardone said this. I think Grant, because he was interviewing Tucker. So I have Tucker's notes with Grant Cardone sliding stuff in. He said, honestly, I failed at my target 98% of the time. I got no's 98% of the time. It's the 2% that made me successful. And you guys get all bottom hurt if you don't get the listing. If you lose a buyer, man, you should be doing so much that you're losing listings all the time, getting buyers all the time. There's nobody who gets the listing every time, gets the buyer every time. If you don't, how about this one? If you don't pay the price now, you will pay the price later. At any rate, you're going to pay the price. Now, here's the cool thing, what Tucker Carlson talked about. He said he had a friend who built a $2 billion company, sold it for $2 billion. Usually you have to work for 4 or 5 year buyout. They didn't do this. They wrote him a check for $2 billion. Very rare air, that category. And he said he got there and it was the most disappointing thing of his life. He was never more miserable. He is, come on, you can check into the Four Seasons and eat French toast every day. And after a while, it just isn't that exciting. What's exciting is changing lives. What's exciting is building your staff and creating opportunities for them, helping your clients, creating new endeavors, all while serving your family. It's the struggle that is there. Man, when you arrive, the cars are only so nice. The homes are only, it's kind of meaningless. See, what you think is going to make you happy, what makes you happy are those cute little kids staring at you right now. It's like me, my cute little kids are 20 to 31. They're still little kids. But man, I was with my daughter, Sarah. She's 24. She hugged me. My daughter, Alyssa, 21. I'm going to Hawaii for Build. She says, when do you fly? And I go, the 6th. She goes, okay, you and me. We're going to Kailua. No real estate agents. Sorry, guys. She said, no real estate agents. I want... She was, I just want to spend time with you, Dad. Nobody else. I want you all to myself. And that was pretty cool because she's my adopted daughter, you know? And so, you know, there's one thing for your biological, but like she was, I just want to hang out with you. And I'm always bringing her to stuff. You know, I hope you're bringing your kids to stuff. I hope you're bringing your kids to 10X or UPW or EXP in Cabo. And you're going to masterminds like Create with John Maxwell in Atlanta. There's stuff all around you. But are you, not only A, are you going, but are you bringing your spouse? Are you growing together? Or are you growing apart? 7 years ago, when I got in EXP, the first 2 years I went without Kathy, and I really regret going to UPW, Unleash the Power Within at Tony Robbins without Kathy. It was so good, and I knew it was a mistake because I felt myself just go. And she was back here because she didn't go to UPW. And I went back and took it again. And I went with Kathy. We went up here as a couple. And then we went to Date with Destiny. And then we went to, Business Mastery. And then we went to Platinum Partners. And then we went to a relationship event at our church. And then we went to, whatever it is. And we did a weekend away together in Napa. It's like we're just growing together, not apart. But I really want to challenge you. Bring your son or your daughter. I don't care if they're 9, 12, 14. They need a vision. Without vision, people perish. Why do kids turn to drugs? They have no hope. What can I do? I'm not Mark Bearsel. I'm just Mark's son. I'm not Brent Gove. I'm just Ty. I'm Dylan. I'm Nolan. I'm Isaac. Those are my 4 boys. I'm not Kathy Gove. We're just Sarah and Megan and Christina and Alyssa. Those are our 4 girls, And you're right. God made you special. Can I say to any of you, your kids are not special? It's not true. That's the kind of stuff the evil one says, right? The truth is, we're all created equally. We all have certain inalienable rights. We all have the ability to love them, I got my light on here today, to be light in the darkness, to be a beacon of hope. Your life will serve as an example or a reminder, right? We don't want reminders. We want examples, right? And so another Tucker said this because people talk trash on him on the internet. Don't give trolls emotional control over your life. Trolling the internet. People are commenting on your posts and stuff. Because I never read the New York Times. It's garbage. I know who I am. I know my motives. But if you read the New York Times and read other things, they say, oh no, here's who you are. And I can personally relate to that. But I think all of you can get spammed, and don't give emotional control over to trolls on the internet or in the paper or news organizations. I love this one. This wasn't said today, but it was really powerful when I heard it years and years and years ago. It was by this woman called Eleanor Roosevelt. You ever heard of her? Famous woman. And she said this. She said, nobody can make you feel inferior without your consent. Ooh, so if you're kind of feeling less than around somebody, right? Why is that? It's because you consented. Well, they weren't nice to me and they made me feel awkward and they didn't invite me over to the group and this and that. If you're feeling bad, you consented to that. Like nobody has that power and ability. And so there's a quote coming up here. And I think it says, when you get around big-minded people, you feel better. When you get around small-minded people, you feel worse. So you kick in the principle of vacuum and remove the small-minded people from your life. I heard a quote the other day, another quote. It went like this. You ready? It said, how's it go? It said, bad minds talk about individuals, talk about people. Good minds talk about the news. Hey, but they said exceptional minds, great minds talk about ideas. I didn't quite get the quote right, but you get the idea. When you find yourself, oh, did you hear about Josie? did you hear about Brent? Did you hear about Glenn? Or did you hear about Cindy? And usually that's followed with a bunch of gossip, right? It's just, it's never usually good. Now, if you have something good to share, that's fine. But a lot of times, when you find yourself talking about other people with other people, a lot of times it's not positive. So I thought that was really good. Good minds talk about the news, current affairs, what's happening on the global, that's fine. You need to know what's happening in the world and all that. But great minds talk about ideas conceptually. What if we did this? What if I started this? What if we got involved and we gave and we helped bring an end to hunger, or we helped people in their personal mental health and well-being? Those are ideas. Great mind state is there. I love that quote. That just fired me up. They didn't say that today, but it reminded me. He said this, Tucker Carlson said this: you want to just revolutionize your life? He gave a 30-day challenge. Here's the 30-day challenge: total honesty, complete truth for the next 30 days. Like, don't shave it, don't bend it. After you have, like, well, honestly, I feel like you're a complete a-hole. There's the times that you don't need to say it, but like, if someone asks you something, be straight up. He has this strength. And when you tell the truth, you're completely honest. I thought that was good. I like that. He said, I'm not afraid. He goes, and when people wanted to control you, it freaks them out when they can't control you. He says, in fact, they get freaked out when they don't have power over you. It freaks them out when they meet a woman who's not intimidated by them, meet a man who's not intimidated by them. It freaks them out. And so that was pretty good. He also said, strength comes through the struggle, and there's beauty, joy, and peace and fulfillment as you struggle through things. You have self-respect because you're fighting the fight of faith. You're stepping. It's when you're not doing what you know you need to be doing, like apologizing to your wife, apologizing to your teenager. You don't need to apologize to your husband. We're thugs. We know that. But you men, you need to apologize to your wife. I'm just kidding. Maybe some of you ladies, maybe it's usually the guys, though. I know I'm prejudiced. I think the women are amazing. But he says, leading a meaningful life. Now that's a treat. Tucker Carlson was talking about, like, what's meaningful? Loving, serving, giving, helping, caring. That's so great. Going fly fishing with the 5-year-old, 8-year-old, teach them how to fly fish, teaching your 12-year-old how to hunt, spending time with your significant other, your husband or your wife, just leaving the phone in the car, just really connecting. John Maxwell gets up there and he talked about how powerful mentoring was. He talked about like begets like. So pick your mentors wisely. He said, get out of the people pile. Everyone write that down. I think I've heard it once before, but I didn't get it. Get out of the people pile. What does that mean? Well, you take something like Tony Robbins, and he doesn't know you, but he sees you, but you're in the people pile. Maybe you really respect T.D. Jakes, famous Christian pastor in Texas. He doesn't know you. You're out there in the audience, right? Kevin Hart doesn't know you. Gary Brecka, he doesn't know you, but you admire him, but you're in that people pile. Maybe you want to get to know Simon Sinek. We all know Simon Sinek, but does he know you? You're in the people pile. So what John Maxwell said is find ways. So what he did was listen to this. This is brilliant. You ready? Ready? He found 12 people he admired, and he wrote them all letters and said, I don't have much money. Now, this was in the 70s. He goes, I will pay you $100 for 30 minutes of your time. Now, that today would be like $2,000 with inflation for 30 minutes. How would you like to get, like, if you really admire Richard Branson, Steve Jobs, if he were alive, Elon Musk, I will pay you $10,000 to spend 10 minutes without you. he did this. 10 people didn't reply or just said, I'm sorry, I'm too busy. Two of his heroes, two of the people he was super excited about said, sure. One of them was not Madden, John, the basketball coach, John Wooden. John Wooden. He's like the most legendary basketball coach of all legendary basketball coaches of all legendary of UCLA, I believe, of all times. And John managed, sure, yeah, let's meet, let's do it. They hit it off so well that John would meet with John Maxwell. They met every quarter for 14 years. Best $100 he ever spent in his life. Like begets like. And he started learning. He was so excited. But guess what he did? He put feet to his prayers. Wanting things to change. We all want things to change. But when you put feet to your prayers of having a YouTube channel, of getting out of the people policy, I want to get to know Glenn Sanford. How can I do that? Michael Valdez, Leo Preja, Jay Kinder, Tina Call, whoever it is you look up to and respect. Rosie Rodriguez, Michelle Wilson in Seattle, Kim Frazier, Mark Berzel. Guys sold 600 homes a year. Like, and Mark's sitting there going, I'm not special. But I'll tell you what, he is special. He didn't know it. He's so humble, he doesn't even realize how special he is. And you guys we all have something to give. We're like, not me. I mean, John Maxwell, yes, but not me. Simon Sinek, yes. And you know what? You have something special to give. And so he said, people poured into me so that I can pour into you. That was so good. So who's pouring into you so you can pour into them? Like Randall Dawson was speaking. There's 4,500, 5,000 people. It's packed. I got them. It was amazing. Well, his mentor was John Maxwell back in 2012. And they spent time together in Las Vegas before anybody knew. Now Randall Dawson, he'll have a $250 million company, and he's speaking. He's completely like teaching us and pouring into almost 5,000 of us. And John Maxwell came on stage after he spoke. He goes, "This is so cool. This means more to me than you'll know. I poured into you, and now you're multiplying that to 5,000." And so, who are you pouring into? Like, well, I got nothing to say. I got nothing to give. You need to go to the next UPW with Tony Robbins. It's who you meet. See, I'm not really quoting Grant Cardone, am I? And it's not a bad thing I'm saying or a good. That's not the point. I'm talking about Tucker Carlson. When he shared it, inspired me. Then it reminded me of Eleanor Roosevelt. Then we know about John Wood, and then about John Maxwell. It's the people that make the difference. Who's pouring into you? So he talked about how vitally important it is to have a mentor in your life. Life is about adding value to others. He said that. He goes, my goal is to leave you realizing that you're amazing. That's what John Maxwell's goal. He's 77 years ago. He rocked the stage. He was amazing. He goes, it's so much easier with a mentor. He wrote this down. One of his mentors said to him years and years ago, it was probably 27. And you know what the mentor said to him? He goes, do you have a plan? Because write this one, ready? Before I say what I'm going to say. If you fail to plan, you plan to fail. Most people spend more time planning their vacations than they do their financial future. They know what time the plane's going to take off. They know how they're going to get to the airport. They know what rental car they're going to rent or who's picking them up at the airport. They know what hotel they're going to stay at or what relative they're going to stay at. They know what activities they're going to do when they get on vacation. I'm going to fish Friday. I'm going to golf Saturday. We're going to hang out Sunday. Monday, we're going to go to the wine country. Tuesday, we're going to go do a historical thing of the Aztecs and the pyramids of outside of Cancun. On Wednesday, we're going to ride on a pirate ship and have dinner as the sun's setting. On Thursday, we're going to take it easy. And Friday, we're doing a snorkel trip. We're going to see the stingrays and the blah, blah, blah. And they got this big old plan. Really? Give me your plan for your finances, getting out of debt, saving money, and don't got one. If you plan to fail, you failed to plan by definition. So what was said to John Maxwell 50 years ago, he says, do you have a plan for your personal growth? Do you have a plan for your personal growth? Oh, yeah. Really? Okay. Unmute yourself right now and tell me. Like, I'll bet you 5 or 10 of you could. There's 47 people on here, but the rest, like, I don't know, I read a book. I'm on the 1% Club every week. Do you have a plan to get a mentor by a certain deadline? You know, what's your plan? It's a place where others have gone before you, and you don't have to pay the dumb tax. You know, yeah, you could always talk about failing forward and struggling, but there's also a way to not cut corners, but to be smarter. And that's called, you know, you could fix your bike, or you could have your dad show you how to fix your bike. And you might get it done after an hour. Your dad could probably fix it in 2 minutes, but you didn't ask because you're stubborn, you know, and you took you an hour. So he talked about you have a mountain to climb. It's okay. We all struggle. That, like, if you're uncomfortable, you're on track. If you're comfortable, you're probably really not in a growth process right now. He said, value the process of mentoring. He says leaders take time. He says people ask John Maxwell to come in. He's okay. You got like a 3-week course, a 7-week course. We need to whip these employees into shape. We need to create some leaders around here. He said, he's like, I don't have that program. It takes time. Listen to me. It's going to take time, but make the investment in yourself. Like, slow and steady wins the game. And of course, but of course, the more you read, the more podcasts you listen to, the more of it, the more you pour into yourself, the more you can grow. Like, a lot of people didn't go and spend $2,000 to even sit in the back of this thing in 10X. Well, I don't like Grant Cardone. He hasn't even talked yet. So much out of it. It's so great. Whether you like him or not, it's so great. But your mind kept you from coming here. Well, it's also $2,000. I don't have $2,000, really, because most 18-year-olds, they'll spend an average of $50,000. You let some 18-year-old wipe the gym floor with you. Find the money, invest in you. And then finally, they want to microwave their people, to stick them in a microwave, crank them up for 60 seconds, 90 seconds, 2 minutes, like popcorn, and bam, we got leaders. It doesn't work that way. It's more like a crock pot. It takes time. He said 1 hour a day for the next 5 years, and you could become an expert at any field. 1 hour a day, 5 years, you will have an expert level of knowledge in most fields. That was kind of fun. How long will it take? He has a far better question is, how far can I go? How much can I love? How much can I give? You can always love more, give more, serve more. I'm tired of serving, loving, and giving. No, you're not. You're not tired. You're just tired of not being where you want to be. But he said, appreciate the process. Determine the areas you need to be mentored in. I got 1 minute left. Ready? Determine the areas you want to be mentored in. I recommend faith. Don't go empty there. I recommend fitness. I recommend finances. And I recommend family. Those are the big four. The fifth one's fun. I think all of you know, I think we're all experts at having fun. Some of you work 7 days a week, 18 hours a day. You can take a day off and go have fun. You need to rest. You need to do something fun. But I think the first four, faith, fitness, finances, and family, how about, what if you had a world-class mentor for your faith? Someone you really respect, can explain things to you, answer those questions. What if, how about fitness? Man, how about finances? Teach you how to get on to increase your revenues, decrease your expenses, set targets. Matt Plummer's amazing. Highly recommend. He's an EXP guy. If you don't know Matt Plummer, Plumer, he does that. And then family, someone to help you with your marriage. If you got kids, being a mom, being a dad. Oh, I don't need that. I don't need that. Really? Okay, have fun with that. So it is 5:00 in Florida. It's 2:00 where you are. So I'm going to call today's 1% Club. But what I'm super excited about, and I forgot. Oh, hey, Shelly, good to see you there. And Braden's here, man. What's up, Braden Greer? Good to see you. Man, I should look down more often. All these like mega suit. Jared Davis is here with the Monopoly, dude. I don't want to leave anybody out. I could do that. Although Karen Sweat has the cool X. I like your X, Karen. Very cool. But last week I was supposed to talk about NAR and the gift they gave us. So if you want to learn about the gift of these rulings and why it's the best news you could probably have, yeah, I'm spinning it. You could go, whoa, it's me, it sucks, I'm afraid. Have fun with that. Me, I'm going to go, baby, this is great news. And I will explain you why this is great news for your listings, why this is great news for your buyers, why you should not be afraid. And Drew probably has a quote for you. Drew, take the quote while I get the door. Someone's knocking.
Hey guys. All right. So I got two for you today. All right. I want to take you up and then I'm going to bring you down. All right. I'm going to inspire you a little bit and then I'm going to humble you at the same time. All right. The first one, with everything that Brent was talking to us about, is the people who are crazy enough to think they can change the world are the ones who do. All right. That was Steve Jobs says that the people who are crazy enough to think they can change the world are the ones who do. All right. So I'm going to bring you up and I want to bring you back to the humble because this one hit me real hard this week. If you don't heal what hurt you, you will bleed on the people that didn't cut you.
Say that again.
If you don't heal from what hurt you, you will bleed on the people that didn't cut you. Right? We're talking all about self-development and we're always talking about how our business is. We got to get our business up as high as we can. We're always looking at that, but your business cannot grow past the height that you grow.
One more time for that last one, please, Drew.
Last one, and I'll put these in the chat. If you don't heal from what hurt you, you will bleed on people that didn't cut you.
In other words, you're wounded and you're going to wound others, and because you never heal from it. It's good. Hey, Drew, show them where you are. I recognize where you are. Drew is in. You got to turn your screen, baby. Drew is in. I look how you moved. We just saw the. He's in the vault where we create on that whiteboard. We got our vision board over there, and then we got the leather chairs. If he tilts it down, comfy leather chairs. We drink our coffee. We got Tony Robbins to inspire us right in the middle. Up we go, Mr. TR. And then Drew's over there. That's his little, that's his world. I put him in the vault. That's where he's sitting there. He shuts.
I love it.
It's good. That's the famous vault. Hey, we got to go. We have 6 minutes. I'm going to cover NAR. I'm going to tackle NAR. It's going to be powerful, like 10, 15 minutes on NAR. Do some Q&A. So if you want to ask questions about NAR, I'm going to say some things that shock you. Don't go anywhere. Back after this. Love you guys. See ya.